Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Greg Sloop, and it's time for Live at 5 on this Monday, March 31st, 2025. This is our last full day in Scotland. We'll be heading back via plane tomorrow on Tuesday. We wanted to give you Luke chapter 20 today in our journey through the New Testament. Um, Starting in verse 1, we have the religious leaders questioning Christ's authority. Verse 1, now it happened on one of those days as he taught the people in the temple and preached the gospel, that the chief priests and scribes, together with the elders, confronted him and spoke to him, saying, tell us by what authority you are doing these things, or who is he who gave you this authority? But he answered and said to them, I will also ask you one thing, and answer me. The baptism of John, was it from heaven or from men? And they reasoned among themselves, saying, if we say from heaven, he will say, then why did you not believe him? But if we say from men, all the people will stone us, for they are persuaded that John was a prophet. So they answered that they did not know where it was from. And Jesus said to them, neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things. As in both Matthew and Mark, Jesus was approached by the religious leaders and asked to answer them by whose authority he did the great miracles he performed. Jesus turned the tables, though, and asked by whose authority John the Baptist performed his ministry. They feared the crowd's response and they refused to answer. Jesus then said, then you can't ask me questions either. If you can't answer mine, I won't answer yours. Then it goes to the parable of the vineyard owner. Verse 9, then he began to tell the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard, leased it to vine dressers, and went to a far country for a long time. Now at vintage time, he sent a servant to the vine dressers that they might give him some of the fruit of the vineyard. But the vine dressers beat him and sent him away empty handed. Again, he sent another servant, and they beat him also, treated him shamefully, and sent him away empty handed. And again he sent a third, and they wounded him also and cast him out. Then the owner of the vineyard said, what shall I do? I will send my beloved son. Probably they will respect him when they see him. But when the vine dressers saw him, they reasoned among themselves, saying, this is the heir. Come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours. So they cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. Therefore, what will the owner of the vineyard do to them? He will come and destroy those vine dressers and give the vineyard to others. And when they heard it, they said, certainly not. Then he looked at them and said, what then is this that is written? The stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. Whoever falls on that stone will be broken, but on whomever it falls, it will grind him to powder. Jesus told them this parable. It's also recorded in the other synoptic gospels. A man planted a vineyard. He leased it to those who would tend it. And when time came for harvest, he sent servants to gather his portion of the proceeds. The vine dressers beat some, killed some, according to the other gospels. And the owner finally sent his son, thinking surely they would respect him, but they killed him as well, hoping to take over the vineyard. Jesus stated that the owner would then go destroy the lessees and cast them out of the vineyard. Many said that he would not have, but he said yes, he would. And then Jesus quotes Psalm 118, Isaiah, and Daniel when he talks about the rejected stone becoming the cornerstone. He was prophetically speaking of himself. Then the Herodians questioned the tribute money. Verse 19, and the chief priests and the scribes that very hour sought to lay hands on him, but they feared the people, for they knew he had spoken this parable against them. So they watched him and sent spies who pretended to be righteous, that they might seize on his words in order to deliver him to the power and the authority of the governor. Then they asked him, saying, teacher, we know that you say and teach rightly, and you do not show personal favoritism, but teach the way of God in truth. Is it lawful for us to pay taxes to Caesar or not? But he perceived their craftiness and said to them, why do you test me? Show me a denarius. Whose image and inscription does it have? And they answered and said, Caesar's. And he said to them, render therefore to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. But they could not catch him in his words in the presence of the people, and they marveled at his answer and kept silent. After the last passage, the chief priests and scribes were afraid of the people because Jesus had called them out publicly. They sent spies to trick Jesus. They asked if Jews should pay tax to Caesar or not. He called them out as testing him, and then he asked for a coin, a denarius, a 1 day's wage. I've shown it to you before. He asked whose image and inscription was on it, and they said, Caesar's. Then Jesus wisely told them to pay Caesar what was his, and God what was his. And they could not find fault in his answer. Jesus is always wiser than the most cunning human he would ever come up against. So trust Jesus. He never fails. Then the Sadducees question the resurrection. Verse 27, then some of the Sadducees who deny that there is a resurrection came to him and asked him, saying, Teacher, Moses wrote to us that if a man's brother dies, having a wife, and he dies without children, his brother should take his wife and raise up offspring for his brother. Now there were 7 brothers. And the first took a wife and died without children, and the second took her as wife, and he died childless. Then the third took her, and in like manner the 7 also, and they left no children, and they died. Last of all, the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife will she become? For all 7 had her as wife. And Jesus answered and said to them, the sons of this age marry and are given in marriage. But those who are counted worthy to attain that age and the resurrection from the dead neither marry nor are given in marriage, nor can they die anymore, for they are equal to the angels and are sons of God, being sons of the resurrection. But even Moses showed in the burning bush passage that the dead are raised when he called the Lord the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. For he is not the God of the dead, but of the living, for all live to him. The Sadducees did not believe in the bodily resurrection. They tried to trick Jesus as well. They told a story of 7 brothers. The first one married a wife and then died before producing an heir. The next brother married her and died as well before producing an heir, and all 7 eventually married her. Whose wife would she be in the resurrection? Jesus corrected their misconception, their understanding, by telling them that marriage really does not have the same meaning in heaven. We will be like the angels. Jesus further taught that the Lord is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which signifies that they are alive in eternity. God is the God of the living and not of the dead. And then the final passage, Christ questions the scribes. Verse 39, then some of the scribes answered and said, Teacher, you have spoken well. But after that, they dared not question him any more. And he said to them, how can they say that the Christ is the son of David? Now, David himself said in the book of Psalms, the Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand till I make your enemies your footstool. Therefore, David calls him Lord. How is he then his son? Then, in the hearing of all the people, he said to his disciples, beware of the scribes who desire to go around in long robes, love greetings in the marketplaces, the best seats in the synagogues, and the best places at feasts, who devour widows' houses and for a pretense make long prayers. These will receive greater condemnation. After the last discussion here, the scribes did not seek to debate Jesus anymore. Jesus tested them. How can people say that Christ is the son of David? David called the Messiah Lord in the Psalms. How can he be David's son? He then told the people to beware of the scribes, for they're prideful, they're ostentatious, they're arrogant. They are deserving of greater condemnation. Their punishment will come. And in this chapter, Jesus, as many other times, exercises his spiritual authority and challenges the traditions and the hypocrisies of his day. He showed himself powerful and authoritative, and no one could deny him. They hated him, but they could not deny him. And that's the word for today. It's good to have you on with us. I did have to record this because we're going to be on the road this evening about 5 o'clock your time. So I wanted to make sure you got a live at 5 today. I hope you're having a great day. We appreciate your always coming on here with us. It is a blessing each and every time. Spend some time with God every day in the Word of God and prayer. It's the best thing you'll do all day, and it can change your day in many wonderful, wonderful ways. Please know we're praying for you, and I look forward to seeing each of you again tomorrow, live